I am tired for getting blamed for my bad marks.
I have finally gotten the chance to blame you. The sleepless nights, only to impress you. R.I.P. to my soul.
You will be your subject. Don't let me down.
What subject?
Hi, Mom. Mom, listen.
Yes, Muskan.
Okay, so basically, my psychology teacher has tasked us to design an experiment, and my friend and I have decided to make our moms our subject and condition them in a way. And basically, I wanted to get your consent as my subject, but before I can get your consent, I would just like to tell you that I will not harm you in any way, emotionally and mentally. Although physically you will be getting a spray on your face, but it will not cause any injury or harm. It's just with water. So I was hoping you could be my subject.
Okay.
Okay, are you sure? 100%?
Let's see.
No, Mom, you have to say yes.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so before I start the experiment, I have to give my mom a consent form. In the consent form, it's going to state everything she needs to know. For example, that she's going to be in the experiment, and that me and my partner are both doing this experiment on our moms. It's going to state that no harm will be inflicted upon her during the events of this experiment, and that she's only going to be sprayed with water. I'm going to get her signature at the end of this experiment, and the reason we're giving the consent form is so that this experiment won't be unethical. If we give the consent form, she knows what she's getting into, so it's going to be ethical.
Okay, so Mom, I'm going to be doing an experiment on you, and I need you to sign this consent form. Just read it over, and please sign. Thank you.
Muskan!
And I
Muskan! मुझे नहीं करना ये! Enough!
So I was hoping you could be my subject. Okay.
and I
ताजी ने जड़ा परी भाभी को थप्पड़
Muskan, no, this is not the right time. I need to go work. Muskan, I really need to go work, please. Muskan, stop. Stop.
1 hour later. 2,000 years later. 1 eternity later.
Mom, what happened?
Muskan.
Mom.
And I, oh.
She knows, and I know she knows.
Okay, so mom, these 2 weeks you were a part of an experiment, right? And now we are done the experiment and I'm supposed to be debriefing you on what happened during the experiment. So essentially, in this experiment, it was classical conditioning, which is a type of learning in which one learns to link 2 or more stimuli and anticipate events. So what happened was I took a neutral stimulus, which is a stimulus that elicits a response before conditioning. In this experiment, it was the whistle since it produced no response from you, right? And then I took an unconditioned stimulus, which is a stimulus that unconditionally, automatically, and naturally triggers a response. In this case, it was spraying you in the face with water. And this produces an unconditioned response, which is naturally occurring response to an unconditioned stimulus. And it was you flinching when I sprayed you with water. So at the end, this produced a conditioned response, which is a learned response to a previously neutral stimuli, but now conditioned stimulus. This means when I sprayed you with the water continuously, right after I blew the whistle, the 2 of them became associated. And what happens was when I blew the whistle, you automatically flinched since you expected the water to follow right after.
So now we have come to the ending of our experiment, and I'm basically going to debrief you as to what happened and what I did to you. So the premise of the experiment was to classically condition you, which is basically a type of learning that happens unconsciously. And I did this to you to make you learn in a way to associate the whistle with the spray, and you ultimately, flinching as a reaction to the stimuli that I presented. So if you remember, initially I blew the whistle and sprayed you, which caused you to have a quite normal instinctive reaction of nervousness. So eventually you understood that the whistle meant that there was going to be some sort of spray. And you began to hide your face, you began to pull yourself back and wince and do these actions to represent that you are basically going to get sprayed by water. And at the end, I blew the whistle, if you remember, although you did not get sprayed. And this was basically me trying to see if I conditioned you well. So what happened was I basically blew the whistle, but you flinched even though I did not spray you. So this meant that you unconsciously knew that you were going to be sprayed. So you had a response to the stimuli. And at the end of this, we basically got to prove Pavlov's classical conditioning theory through our mini experiment that we had. And I was wondering if, when did you start to understand that the whistle meant I'm going to spray you? When did that start to come?
I think around when I'm getting ready for work and you sprayed on me. I hear a little whistle, but I'm still confused with it. But I think I got an idea with that whistle at that time.
That you began to associate the whistle with the spray.
Yes.
And overall, would you do this again? Did you like it?
I really enjoyed it, but if it's summertime, I will enjoy more.
Yeah.
Because in winter, I really don't like water all the time on my face.
Yeah.
And you suddenly come and put water on me, which I really don't enjoy much.
Yeah.
But in summer, maybe this is a good activity for us.
So do you still love me, Mom?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed something with this experiment.
Yes.
And we can do it again.
In summer.
No, again. In
All
winter.
right.